What's up, guys? It's Thursday, April 4th, 2024. That is the Bitcoin block height. I wanted to go outside and talk to you outside, but of course it's windy again, so I had to do it in the house real quick. But I wanted to react real quick to Grant Cardone's twin brother, Gary Cardone, who is a big time Bitcoiner now. He's really studied it and he really understands it. You know, multi-millionaire, just like his brother. And he's really into all different kind of businesses. He does a lot of real estate too. But a couple of weeks ago, he did a video about a $2.5 million house that he had and what he should do with it. And if he sold it, should he do this with it or should he put the funds into Bitcoin? Well, he made a video saying that he put the funds into Bitcoin. So I want to react to that to make some comparisons to other things you can sell for Bitcoin. Obviously, probably none of us have a $2.5 million mansion, but we do have things that we could sell for Bitcoin if we didn't have cash and if we were really into Bitcoin and if we really wanted to take advantage of Bitcoin and what it is. So without further ado, let's get on into it.
Hey guys, Gary Cardone here. A couple of people have been asking me what I ended up doing with my home down the road. I did sell it. I lowered the price. I think it was pitched at 2.8. Lowered the price, I think 300 grand. Immediately started to get some traction. It sold 10 days later. And the question people are asking me was, what did I do with the $2.5 million that was netted out of the sale after all the commissions, fees, title fees? And I deployed it. And in fact, my buddy asked me, well, did you deploy 10%? I said, no, I deployed all of it. Of course, I deployed it all. That was the strategy. I did not DCA into it. And I know that I talked to you guys a lot about DCA, and I encourage you to DCA. First off, I do continue to DCA every week, no matter what price. But me selling the home, that was a different play, right? I saw the home beginning to suck the resources from my family, and I wanted to get rid of the sucky feeling and deploy it into Bitcoin. I was more concerned about the risk of not being able to deploy that kind of money in the 60s than DCAing into it and maybe getting a $2,000 cheaper price. It just was not that important to me. I have a huge tolerance for risk, and everything I do in my life is pretty well paid for, so I'm not relying on that money. In fact, the market did. I think I picked this up at 66 and change. Market went down to 61 yesterday or the day before. It's now moved right back up. I wish I had 30 homes. I would sell them all. I would buy Bitcoin right here, and I would wait, and I would wait, and I would wait, and I will be proven to be absolutely spot on correct. And I'm probably underestimating the opportunity here.
I did the exact same thing with my precious metals. Every big lot of precious metals. Now, I didn't sell it all at once like he did his house because, you know, precious metals and house is different. You can't sell it in pieces of real estate. You can do that with a house. But I did the exact same thing. Every time I sold, you know, a few hundred ounces or 1,000 ounces or whatever, I just took that money and deployed it right into Bitcoin. Because, again, I wasn't worried about going up 2,000, 3,000. I wanted to buy it in the 20s the first time when I bought it. Then the next lot, I bought it in the 30s. I bought it in the 40s a little bit, but mostly in the 20s and 30s. And I wasn't worried about DCAing in because, again, I DCA every single day, every single week, and every single month. And I will give you my DCA strategy in a video coming up that I'm going to explain to you how I buy my Bitcoin. But yeah, I wasn't worried about any of that. I was just selling it at the coin shop, taking that money and deploying it right into Bitcoin. And the reason I was comfortable with that is because the more silver I sold, the lighter I felt. Like he said about the sucky feeling about how, you know, the money was sucking in. I felt like that with my precious metals. Even though I wasn't paying every single month to secure it, it's just a lot. You guys know having precious metals, it's just a lot to have that and just the headaches of, oh man, where am I going to put it? I got to get a safe. I can't leave the house and feel good and stuff like that. So all that weight was lifted off my shoulders and it felt so good. And now that all my precious metals are gone and I got it all into Bitcoin, I can't tell you how the weight of the world is off my shoulders and onto the Bitcoin network and into cold storage.
So I continue to look around all my properties, all my assets, my investments in other things, and try to figure out what is a better investment. What I'm doing there, or does Bitcoin or some other part of the Bitcoin industry offer me greater opportunities? I would encourage you to look at it the same way. Fiat is crumbling, okay? It's degrading by the moment. So the question is, hey, what are the pros on Bitcoin that real estate doesn't enjoy? Because real estate does enjoy some characteristics currently that Bitcoin doesn't enjoy. But the cool thing I like about Bitcoin is it requires no maintenance. The roof never leaks. There's never a plumbing problem. There's no electricity problems. There's no annual tax that if I don't pay it, I don't really own the home. If I own Bitcoin and I'm holding Bitcoin, there's no one that can tax me if I'm holding my Bitcoin and I'm not liquidating it. I have no human error risk. I have no insurance requirements. I have no flood insurance requirements. I have no rain or hazard insurance requirements. I mean, what isn't great about Bitcoin? Quite frankly, it's a low maintenance, requires some security understanding, some responsibility. It requires an understanding of a fiat world that's decaying by the moment. Other than that, it looks to me like the greatest opportunity in the history of mankind. And over the last 15 years, it has proven to be exactly that. So I'm not going to bet against a 15-year trend. You know, in markets, they say the trend is your friend until it's not. Well, this trend continues to roll up to the right and continuing. So I'm going to play that trade until it doesn't work.
That is an excellent point. Just like with precious metals, when you have the physical metal on you, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. It's the same exact thing with Bitcoin. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin, or what I like to say is not your keys, not your cheese. If you own real estate, and I have owned real estate, it's not really yours. You know how I know that? Don't pay your taxes and see who owns your house. Real estate means Royale Estate, aka the government. If you don't pay your taxes, you can't keep that house. But with Bitcoin and precious metals, if you have your Bitcoin in cold storage and you have your precious metals at your house, you actually own that. You're not paying an upkeep. You're not paying taxes or anything else. But again, the reason why I sold my precious metals, for the reasons I said before, and I sleep like a baby at night. I own my keys. They cannot take 12 words or 24 words out of my head. I can sell everything in my home, everything that I have, put it on the Bitcoin network, break my cold card or break one of my cold storages devices, keep the words in my head, have, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin, go across the border, and that's it. You can't do that with precious metals, and you can't do that with a house. So again, you really don't own it until it's yours and it's truly your property rights. You can't do that with real estate or anything else. But with Bitcoin, you can put those words in your head and go anywhere in the world at any time.
It seems like we are 10 years into owning NVIDIA. It's like us buying NVIDIA 15 years ago, one of the great super stocks of the 21st century. I think Bitcoin will outperform NVIDIA, the S&P, gold, silver, US dollars, crude oil, aluminum, copper, real estate. It's going to just run over every one of these returns. And when the world wakes up, and a very, very small percentage of the world is awake to this opportunity, when the world wakes up, everyone is going to own Bitcoin.
I couldn't agree more. This is a man that's been in the markets for years. He's in his 60s. He's never seen anything like this, and he studied. Okay? You have to study Bitcoin and get conviction the way he is. That's why he's selling everything for. He just sold a $2.5 million mansion to get Bitcoin. Why do you think he did that? Because like he said, it's going to outperform all that stuff he just said.
Hey, you guys are probably wondering why I'm on the road, but I just sold this house and I'm scared to trespass. Plus, these are really nice neighbors, and I don't want to offend anybody. So I'm trying to, hold my little manners that my mom taught me in check. This house was costing me around, call it about $8,000 a month in mortgage, utilities, maintenance, upkeep, $600 a month just to mow the grass, probably a $500 electric bill, insurance, $8,000 a year. So I sat on this property for 3 years. Okay. I bought it for around 1.8. I put 600 grand in it. I am basically gonna make zero on this house in 2.5 years. I then took these funds after the commissions, so about 2.25 million, and I bought Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin for you guys that are, oh, Gary bought it at 30 and he's shilling Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin at 66,818. I bought $2.25 million worth of it. Okay, that was 3 weeks ago. It's worth 70 grand today. Okay, and we'll see what it's worth in a year. But my bet is it's worth, in 1 to 2 years, 3 years, a heck of a lot more than the return I got, which was zero after I factored in commissions, utility fees, taxes. Taxes aren't even included in that, okay? Insurance, maintenance, improvements. That fence wasn't here. I put the fence in. That's 60 grand. So let's see what this trade's like. Homes are not investments. rent your home, okay? Rent your home. Buy an apartment building and rent it to a guy like me. I'll rent from you. Got no shame about renting whatsoever. Needs to be a really big place, but I'm happy to rent. And then I'll use my money, okay, this fiat stuff that's just degrading in value by the moment, and I will invest it in Bitcoin. So we sell fiat to the system. We use that fiat to buy Bitcoin. Okay, we rent fiat assets and we buy hard money assets that will only increase in value. Why? Because you can't print it. You can't print Bitcoin, you can't copy it, you can't duplicate it, and you can't speed it up. I'm very convinced, and if you think I'm wrong, I'd love to have a debate why $2.25 million investment in Bitcoin is far better than a passive investment in a single dwelling home that I'm either going to live in or I'm going to rent. Okay, it's too much exposure. I can't control taxes. I cannot control how many COVID-19s we end up with and can't even get somebody here to fix anything. So Bitcoin looks to me like a non-human era investment opportunity, hardest money on the planet. Tell me I'm wrong.
Gary, I will not tell you you're wrong. I agree 100% on everything you just said, my brother. And if you guys want to tell him he's wrong, go to his channel. I got the link down below, or tell me why I'm wrong, why he's wrong. This opportunity, guys, is absolutely insane. And when the world starts waking up, my goodness. And, he mentioned gold and silver in there. And, I talked about me selling my silver. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to give you my thoughts on gold and silver's price increase they've had lately. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. If nothing crazy comes up tomorrow, like some big news or something, I want to give you my thoughts on that before Satoshi Saturday. But yeah, guys, there you have it. You're not going to get any arguments out of me, Gary. I completely agree with everything he just said. But I want to know your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And again, guys, you work your ass off for your money. What else are you going to put it in? What are you going to put your energy in? Because that's what your work is. That's what your life is. That's what your time is energy. What are you going to put it in? Are you going to put it into gold and silver? Not bad. You going to put it into cash? No. You going to put it into real estate? That's just a leaking boat, leaking out water. It's all leaking energy, in my opinion. Gold and silver, in my opinion, is not keeping up with inflation. But again, I'll talk about that tomorrow. What else are you going to put it in? The choice is easy for me. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.